Hi everybody, this is Susan with Pumpkin Hill Stampers. I have a Stampin' Show and Tell for you today. As you can see, we're going to be working with the Rooted in Nature stamp set. And I'm casing a card that I received as a demo swap. So I'm going to show you the one I got, and then I'll show you how I made the one I'm making today. So you may recall that when I shared my demo swaps last month, this was one of the cards I had received. And it's kind of a cute little notched fold. Okay, see how the front has this notch cut in it, and then the back panel slips like that, so you get this fun crossover. So I had a request that I duplicate this card at an upcoming event, and so this is the one I made myself to duplicate for the event. So I'm staying with Tranquil Tide as my main color. I'm using the Rooted in Nature stamp set. I'm using the Designer Series paper Nature's Poem, and it's got that fun pattern there with the Tranquil Tide with that leaf. So here is the inside of my card. Okay, and like I said, it's got this cut slit, and then instead of the butterfly I used the great big tree. So let me go ahead and show you how I put the pieces of this together. Remember, on my Tuesday show and tell, I have all the tutorials, the video again, plus the PDF tutorial with all the cutting measurements and supplies I used. So if you haven't subscribed yet to the show and tell news, the link is below, so you can do that pretty easily. And then you get all the details delivered right to your email each week. Okay, so as you can see, I've already stamped and die cut the tree. I have my two pieces of Designer Series paper, my white panel for up there. Here's my card base. Okay, so like in my instructions it'll say that I started with a 5.5 by 11 piece of cardstock, and then the two places I've scored it, and then I cut in about 3.5 inches across, and that allows for this panel to slap into that panel. Okay, so other than the cutting and the scoring, the rest of it goes together actually pretty easy. So I'm going to flip it over. Now don't get confused, this is now my front and this is now the inside crossing panel. Okay, so for this bottom panel I decided I wanted to use Tranquil Tide, and with the dies that coordinate with this stamp set, we have these impression dies. Okay, so hopefully you can see it on camera. If not, you'll see it in the photos. But I've used this impression die about 6 times, and I put it through, and then I'd run it through the Big Shot, and then I'd move its position and run it through the Big Shot. So I had to run it through 6 times, but now I have this embossed piece of cardstock that has this pattern of leaf on it. So I'm using that as my bottom panel here. Then I have a piece of DSP cut for that up there. Then I have the same paper, and this will be the inside panel that crosses over. Make sure I've got that going the right way. That's the one tricky part when putting it together, is making sure the panels are going the right direction to line up. And then this one I'm going to stamp the thinking of you on, and that's going to go right there on top. So before I glue any of that down, let me go ahead and stamp this panel. So I'm opening up my Tranquil Tide. Stamp that right in the center. Okay, so that one's ready now too. Okay, so let me get my snail, bring that in. Let's put these 4 panels down. So as you can see, I've got a buffer of the white showing on all sides. And this one you just want to make sure you line up your left and right so that your buffer is about the same. Okay, so that this edge is straight coming down, so you have a nice clean edge there. Now when I put these ones on, I'm actually going to close this over and put this down like this. And I'm going to put this one on first. So make sure, this one's pretty close in measurements, so you want to make sure that you've got your height matching. See, it's just a little bit shy for there. So this one actually matches this way. So that's the way I want to put it on. And then again, I want to marry my height so that when I look at it open, my lines will be coordinated. See? See how those go across? Now I know when this panel gets crossed in, you don't see it, but if they have the card open, or if they happen to close like this, you'd want them to be squared up. Okay, now I'm going to put on Thinking of You panel. I don't know why I opened it, I actually need it closed again. And so this one, just slipping on right there. Okay, so now for the tree. Here's how I put the tree on. First, I put a strip of my dimensional right across the front there, because I don't want my dimensionals to be overlapped where the card needs to open. And then I'm just going to put another one down here on the tree base. Okay, and I've peeled that off, so now I can just position my tree. It can overlap as much as I want to on that Thinking of You panel, because they're separate, they're going to move. Okay, so there's that. Now, let's go ahead and do our inside stamping. So, open this up. So on the inside, I've stamped the You Are Wonderful right in the center. And then if you're the kind of card sender who likes to write a long note, you could certainly leave more of yours blank for that purpose. But I know sometimes people like to just write the 2 in the front and maybe a little message. So I decided I was going to stamp on some of these panels these leaves. Now this is the same print leaf that was on the die. See how they're similar? So that all coordinates nicely. Okay, one here and another one down there. Okay, so there is the card, and then for the envelope, as you can see, I put that up on the corner, and there's our show and tell for today. So I hope you enjoyed it today, and for those of you stamping with me later this month, we'll be making this card, and I hope you have all enjoying what I'm doing. Give me a thumbs up and comment below and subscribe to that newsletter so you don't miss out on anything. Thanks everybody. Have a great day.